Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? What's up, dudes? I'm Erin.
Sorry,
Did you not
how
care
are you?
how
I'm actually doing.
I don't give a fuck.
That's so rude. Rude.
I know. I'm
rude,
sorry.
That's
I'm sorry.
fucked up.
Rude.
I'm Nicole.
One rude dude.
Yeah, I didn't have much to say about it, so.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Did I say that this is dude that's fucked up?
I think so.
That's how I rudely interrupted you?
Yeah, you're like, how are you? I'm Erin. This is dude that's fucked up.
Oh, God. I'm so rude. I'm sorry.
It's funny. It's very funny. It's like that thing of how British people say, y'all right? Like, they're like, y'all right? And you're like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I don't know. I'm feeling like however. But really, it's just like, what's up?
Like, hello.
Yeah. Oh, that's awkward.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Hope your day is going well. Happy Wednesday.
Amazing.
I think it's not Wednesday right now, but it will be when you hear this.
Yeah, it's Friday, bitch. Ooh.
Shabbat shalom, motherfuckers.
Oh. Motherfuckers.
Well, anything going on? Any business for the day?
I don't think we have business. Unless you want to know my business, which is I made fucking homemade nut milk, bitch. And it's
How?
Yeah, I'm like fucking I'm a white lady, and it is I am full-fledged white lady. It is I'm having a real hard time with it, but also I put some fucking vanilla and cinnamon in it, and I used half almonds, half coconut, and it's like fucking I made it yesterday. It's even better today, and I'm drinking it with my coffee, and I'm peak white lady status, and I just want to put on yoga pants, and I want to light some sage and walk around my house.
Oh my God, dude. Well, I mean, I was looking up fucking rose latte recipes yesterday, so, you know.
We've done it. You know what?
It's here.
I'm almost
it's
36.
2019.
Yeah. It's
all happening.
It's fine.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything fucked up for you this week?
Okay.
I saw your note.
Oh my God. Okay.
Very interested.
I'm like ready to talk about this.
Oh boy.
Probably. Or I'll cut it all out. TBD.
Yeah. Sorry if we cut it out. That was great. Good story, but you guys can't hear it.
But it's like kidding. Private. Yeah. Well, if we cut any of this out, long story short, my grandpa bought his stepdaughter new titties. Okay.
Oh, shit.
And that shit's real. And it's directly or indirectly, we don't know.
Oh my God.
Anyway, what's your fucked up of the week?
Oh my God, nothing that salacious. Every time I open a new website, I'm getting served Shenyun ads.
You're getting retargeted.
Oh, I'm getting retargeted like I've never been retargeted before.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's like 101, but it's like, you know, it's like ad.
Yeah.
Ad serving 101.
Like, they're wasting so much money.
Oh my God, it just proves that their ad budget is massive.
Oh my God.
Like their marketing budget and ad budget is just like insane.
It is because, oh my God, same thing. I just driving from like Hollywood to Long Beach, I see like 8 billboards for Shenyun, and they're in like bougie, they're in like really good like visibility billboards on really prominent freeways with a lot of traffic, and then like in the city they're like on, you know, like off of Sunset Boulevard and shit, like
where like it's
like high ditch.
Yeah,
dude.
But I'm not kidding, like literally any website that has a banner ad of any sort is Shenyun. Like,
dude, you gotta
every single
clear
one.
your cookies.
I know. I do. It's just like.
Well, they'll stop
fucking-
soon. When are they coming to DC? Do you know?
I think maybe this month or maybe next month. I can't remember. It usually coincides with like kind of around the cherry blossom season. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's wild. Yeah, clear them cookies.
Clear them cookies.
Get those cookies, girl. Oh my god, it's so crazy. Yeah, I just, man, I don't really know how to segue into this, but the only way I can think of is that every other day, I talk on the phone with my mom.
Yeah.
Going back to family stuff, I guess.
Okay.
And she calls me like most days of the week on her way to work. And every day that she drives to work, she gets bad cell service at one spot and usually always drops the call. And the place that she drives by that causes this to happen is a creepy ass secret Scientology center.
What?
Yeah, like it's real. We have a conspiracy theory, like just her and I, that they have some like weird technology or something that like makes the cell service really sketchy there.
Oh my god! But what if it's real?
I would not be surprised.
Like they could have gone to like Radio Shack before it closed down and bought all their like cell blockers or some shit, and they just like stack them up along the road and like put a twig over it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So the reason I'm talking about this is because
go ahead. What?
We're talking about a little bit about Scientology and a lot about how Shelly Miscavige has been missing for many years.
Whoa! Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. And not only that, I believe she's being held captive in this town that we grew up next to.
And I believe she's dead. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what I believe.
She could very easily also be dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this hits close to home for us because
literally, yeah,
it is right there where my mom drives by every day on her way to work. And I just think the whole thing is insane and very interesting. And we've been dying to talk about it for a long time.
Scientology,
so that's what we're going to do.
Scientology or that Shelly's missing or both.
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what can we say about Scientology that hasn't already been said?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Well, we should give a recap for anyone
sure.
who doesn't know. Because until Going Clear came out, I did not understand. And we were just talking before we started recording. And I was like, I didn't really understand what Scientology was all about. And Erin was like, that's because it all sounds made up and crazy.
Oh, my God.
So you're like, oh, that's funny. Like, you know, you don't believe in... You're like, Thetans? That sounds funny. And then you're like, no, it is Thetans. That's what they believe.
Well, I think, honestly, like, I think everybody's seen that episode of South Park where they, like, explain exactly what their religion is based on, like, the whole story.
I don't know that I've seen it.
Oh, it's like they just word for word say what the story is.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it's like, oh my God, this is so funny. And it's like, no, like, and they even have like a little thing like pop up. This is literally what they believe. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. But I mean, of course, Scientology, like, they claim that it's really that story is false. And like, but who's to say?
Well, they say like, oh, you just don't understand it because you're not in it, and you have to like reach a certain level to like unlock the key that makes it make sense. And you're just like, that seems crazy.
Yeah. So let's just really quickly have a little refresher here. So Scientology was created by the science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard. Red flag. Science fiction writer. Ooh.
But why not? Let's keep going. You know?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Fun. So he wrote a self-help book that explored the relationship between body and mind called Dianetics in 1950. In 1952, he expanded upon the success of Dianetics by creating Scientology. And he incorporated the church. It made it into a church essentially in 1953. So that's it became a legit thing.
All right.
And they kept trying to recruit celebrities because he thought celebrities were on a different level than everybody else, basically. And that's kind of how that got going. But the lore of Scientology basically goes a little something like this, in case you never have given it a second thought. Basically, starts with Xenu.
Hail Xenu!
Hail Xenu! Xenu was once ruler of the Galactic Confederacy, an ancient organization of 76 planets. Having existed for over 20 million years, the planets were struggling from extreme overpopulation. Which seems weird because, the universe is so big. But
I have a
whatever.
question. Do you think,
Sure.
do you think, people still... do you think there's an argument still about people wanting to fly the Galactic Confederacy flag and then other people being like, no, that's racist? Like how all the fucking white trash people in the South are like, we still want to use it. It's part of our history, and the entire rest of the world is like, you're trash. And
you lost. Shut the fuck up. You fucking losers.
God, we're already starting off wrong because Xenu's part of the Galactic Confederacy and they're the losers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, sorry. Continue. I just thought that was funny.
But yeah, I mean, sort of. Yeah, it's a good comparison.
Yeah.
So fearing he'd be thrown out of power, Xenu gathered billions of his people, froze them to capture their souls, which are also considered Thetans, and he transported them to Earth, which back then, I guess, was called Tegiak for elimination. He dumped the bodies or the souls or whatever at the bottom of volcanoes and then destroyed them in a series of nuclear explosions, killing all but a few and sending their souls into the air. And then once they were in the air, the souls were captured by Xenu, who then implanted into them misleading information, including concepts related to all of the world's religions. Which seems like a lot of work.
Okay, I was just thinking that because I'm like, he got rid of them, did all this nuclear shit, did all explosions, volcanoes, and then he collected them again. It's just why?
What? Yeah.
Why did you take the long way?
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. That all just seems stupid. And I mean, it's kind of fun, but I don't know. So basically now all of the ancient immortal alien souls are trapped in the gross bodies of lowly humans. So
that's sad. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad
What do you think my Thetan level is? God, I'm so suppressive or whatever the fuck they say. I mean, I'm at the very bottom of the totem pole.
Of people? Of gross humans?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
In terms of Scientology.
Oh, yeah. I'm a suppressive person for sure. They would not let me anywhere near that place.
Major SP.
Oh, yeah. We're SPs, which is also wild because UCB is right across from the Celebrity Center in Hollywood. And so you're always right there. And it's just oh, man, this is so fucking weird just being right there.
I know. Yeah. Well, and once you start learning a little bit about the weird shit that they do, it makes it even more uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's kind of just the basics. But so since the immortal alien souls are trapped inside human beings, that's where Scientology comes into play. Mm-hmm. And through the religion and through a series of classes and teachings, which is called auditing by the church, it could help free themselves of their human form and reclaim their true selves. So that's cool. Cool.
It's what does it equate to? Taking communion? How is it? I don't. It's the way you worship in a way. It's like how you participate in this religion is auditing, right? I just don't know what it really like.
Yeah, it's like I guess like you could call it tithing, but it's like it is like there's no other religion. I mean, where it requires you to pay up to be. I mean, I don't know. That's debatable, I guess, for some religions. Like if you donate like a shit ton of money in any church, you're gonna have like some. You're gonna be like an important.
Yeah.
You're going to be an important part of the church.
You get like special access to like that fucking top shelf blood of Christ and like the fucking
like
foie gras crackers. Yeah, you get
they like put caviar on your fucking communion wafer and like get you the like chateau like fucking 1964 vintage communion wine.
Pinot blood.
My god.
It's a blood-o.
Blood-o. Blood-o of Christ.
Yeah. Blood-delay.
Yeah, you get like the fucking the vintage Manischewitz and like it's great. Yeah. Yeah, so but these classes are so expensive. Like they start out like okay, like reasonable, but then you like get stuck basically on like a low level if you can't afford to take more classes. So you can like most certainly be in the church and be part of the church, but you're just going to be like some fucking grunt forever if you can't afford to like make it through the levels by paying up, because you can't get audited anymore if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
just
you have to.
Is a funny word.
You're
just some fucking Scientology plebe. Fucking. They don't let you like work it out like a work study. Like they don't let you like work for classes.
I think if you're like in, like once you get into a certain level, it's like all right, you're like in. But, like, you're still treated like shit, apparently.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the auditing is you're basically, like, giving up your most deepest, darkest secrets and, like, sharing, like, really, really painful, traumatic stuff from your past.
Yeah.
And that's, like, how you're supposed to release yourself from the Thetans or whatever. But it ends up just giving the church a ton of stuff to blackmail you with.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which just makes it like, well, that's all the fun rumors about like John Travolta and like Tom Cruise and just like, especially before I think people were a lot more accepting of gay people and LGBTQ and stuff. Like in the early 90s, I just remember lots of rumors going around that they had tape of like John Travolta and Tom Cruise both admitting in their auditing that they were gay and they, have had sex with men and blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, no wonder they're like, trying to keep these people in. And also, of course, because they're like big celebrities and they make a lot of money for them and like help get visibility. But it's crazy.
Yeah, it's, man, it's so sad. It's like, who's to say though? I mean, I believe that these people are like fully brainwashed. Like the further, the deeper you get, like the more you're like, just, I don't know. You're
for
just
sure.
in it.
Well, and we'll talk more about this later, but like the whole Leah Remini like series that she did on A&E, she was talking about how like she, especially because she was so young when she started her acting career and she was in Scientology already. She like joined when she was 13. She started attributing her success to Scientology.
Right.
And also, but not like directly. Like they didn't correlate exactly. It was more that like she just thought she knew this thing that other people didn't know, and it made her feel really good and confident, and so she could walk into any room and like command it, and that was appealing to people, and then they started hiring her in things, and then she like then she thought it was because she was involved with the church that she had this special thing about her. So then
Wow.
she like paid for more classes and like it just kept growing
Yeah.
and growing. But like, yeah, of course, it's like
It's
brainwashing.
yeah. It really just gets they've been around for a while, and it's, you know, there's people that are still in the church for obvious reasons that, you know, are attributed to success and fame, and, you know, their lives are going pretty good, but then there's other people who have defected from the church where it's like, yeah, no, that's not what's happening here.
Yeah.
It's all I don't know. I'm so confused about how it's still a thing, but we'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
So just a little background though about Shelly now. So going all the way back to when Scientology was still pretty new in the 70s. So LRH, L. Ron Hubbard, we'll call him LRH from now on. He gets all these people into Scientology and they're doing weird shit. And then he starts attracting some attention, some unwanted attention. And he is catching a little heat from the feds. Specifically, the feds unearthed 2 criminal conspiracies in which Scientologists had endeavored to retaliate against investigations by journalists and to infiltrate law enforcement and assorted government agencies.
What?
Yeah. Very legal, very cool, but actually not.
Oh my
So-
God.
So he's like, all right, I got to get the fuck out of Dodge. What do I got to do? I'm going to go out to sea. Literally gets on a fucking boat and just like gets into international waters and is just like, sayonara, motherfuckers. I'm going to do my own shit out here. So he gets this like transporter ship. He calls it the Apollo, and he gathers all his closest followers on it, and he tells everyone to call him the Commodore, and he makes everyone wear. I'm so serious. He makes
Did he have
everyone
a
wear these.
ponytail?
I don't know.
He had like
Probably.
a figurative ponytail, I feel like.
Yeah. It was like a
He has
yeah.
the aura of a ponytail.
Yeah.
With a ponytail.
Yes. He epitomizes a ponytail.
Yeah, especially if he's like, call me Commodore.
He's a sentient ponytail. He like gets everybody on this ship and makes everybody call him the Commodore, and he also makes everybody wear these like naval uniforms.
Oh my God.
And he like kind of starts this like paramilitary like group of people, which he calls Sea Org. And so they're all on this fucking boat in the middle of the ocean. And he like has these like hierarchies of people. And he has this group of young girls, like teenage girls, who he calls his messengers. And they wait hand and foot on him.
Gross. Oh my God.
They do everything for him. They like fucking draw his baths and light his cigarettes and do like secretarial shit for him and get his drinks and whatever the fuck he wants, and probably like weird sex stuff too, but who knows?
Ew. Diddle
Yeah,
your
I
own
know.
butthole, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, he sucks, man. He's just gross. He's so
Yeah.
gross. And so he has this like gaggle of little, you know, young girls, and they're like wearing cute little hot pants and halter tops and stuff. And he just like makes them do everything for him, and they're like psyched to do it. And it's just yucky. But Shelly Barnett is one of those messenger girls. Shelly was basically her parents, I guess, like got into Scientology, and they're kind of a fucking mess, and they basically just like left her on the boat with LRH. Like they were just like, you're in good hands now, sweetie, goodbye. And they
Oh my
like
God.
could barely like tie their own shoes. So they just like abandoned their kids basically. And Shelly kind of sees LRH as a father figure, I guess. So she stays with him and works under him pretty closely throughout the 70s and the 80s. And then a young dude named David Miscavige steps on the scene. And he's just like super ambitious, like ingratiates himself with all the all the people who are closest to LRH, and specifically starts paying attention to Shelly. Like, she's in this, like, group of messenger girls, and he's like, yes, like, I want to endear myself to these people. Like, they are closest to LRH, so
Yeah.
I want to get in there.
And I feel like she was like she was specifically on a track to be someone important. Like,
Right.
Like Elrond just like loved her. Like, she was like in the right place, and David is a predator, and he saw like, oh, she's really important to him. I need to like.
Yeah, and she was like spunky. She was ambitious, and so he was like, yeah, I should attach myself to her for sure. So they start hanging out like late 70s, like dating or whatever, and then they get married. David and Shelly get married in 1982, and they become like the it couple of Scientology. Like, they are hot shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so they're like pretty important, and people like look up to them. And around this time, like in the early 80s,
they're like the J and Bay of Scientology.
Yes. Yes. Like, how the J and Bay to Illuminati is what is what Shelly and David are to Scientology.
Love it.
So yeah, LRH is fucking, in the early 80s, is starting to like mentally and physically decline. He's getting old and paranoid. Like, he's lived his life in such a weird way that he's like been constantly hounded by people trying to, like, you know, tear the religion, I put religion in quotes, down, that he's just like not in a good place. So he dies in 1986, and David picks up the reins as the head of Scientology with Shelly at his side. So she's dubbed the First Lady of Scientology, and David was called the chairman of the board, or COB. They like abbreviate fucking everything in Scientology. Like, they call David Miscavige like DM, and he's known as the chairman of the board, so they call him COB. And so it's just so annoying. Oh my God, I hate it. And so Shelly's dubbed the assistant to the chairman of the board. It's like The Office.
Oh my God.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah, assistant to the assistant regional manager or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Also, like, that's fucking rude. She was like, I don't know.
She was their first bitch.
I know.
But David was just like such an overpowering, like, you know, in your face kind of figure, that like he ingratiated himself so much, and was like, he was like, he's a bastard. Like, he's a real just mean person, it sounds like, based on everything I've read.
Everything since he's taken over, like, is just like, there's like so much abuse that's reported.
Yeah.
Like, even more so. I feel like it was a weird religion, but now it's like a really like militant and weird religion that's like super, it's so sketchy. It's like,
yeah. And it was like fine at first, like when they first took over, when David and Shelly first took over Scientology, it was like the first few years were fine, like everything was running pretty smoothly, but then it just started getting weirder and weirder. Like, David got the power because he was always like a weird, like, overzealous person.
Yeah.
And but was also like an insufferable person also. So once he got the power, it was like, oh, fuck. He just became a total monster. And his power made him cruel.
Yeah.
I would liken him to a dictator.
Oh, for sure. And he also, like, once you get that power, you don't want to lose it. So you start doing things that, like, will make sure you keep it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, you could just tell he's such a fucking, like, celebrity kiss-ass wannabe. Like, he wishes he was famous, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's, like, kind of is in this world of Scientology. He is in the world. He's the top of the food chain. But then it's like, oh, he, like, he's best friends with Tom Cruise, and like he just
and he like
gross.
loves the fact that like Tom Cruise kisses his ass. You know?
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is one of the biggest movie stars like ever.
Yeah.
It's
like
it's
even
weird.
Scientology cannot bring Tom Cruise down.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but it's like he's still making Mission Impossible movies. He's making a sequel to Top Gun. It did not destroy his career. He's still out there thriving, and that's why.
Yeah.
That's how big of a star he is.
And I think like people see him as this big star that are in Scientology and are like, oh shit, like he's so I think he's reached like the pinnacle, like he is completely quote unquote clear.
Oh.
So that's why he's such a big star. Like people think that. I don't know.
Oh.
I think that's the mentality behind it.
Oh, like people in Scientology think that he's so big and famous and rich because he like completely cleared out all his Thetans.
Yes,
he's just like a hollow man. Yeah. He's Kevin Bacon, hollow man.
Where you see his like weird dick in it.
His like clear dick.
His clear dick.
Flopping
like flopping around. Yeah. I want a gif of that. Somebody please, God, make a gif of that.
Oh my
scene.
God, yes please. Oh, this is a call out to our listeners. Please make that gif.
Yeah.
Post it in the group.
I hope you know what we're talking about, and if you do, make that gif.
Yeah, don't make it of just any dick flopping around, because it's not a real dick. That's the thing. It's like a clear, it's like a I don't know. It's like
they had this like, you know, when they make the CGI and they're like in the green.
Oh my God, no! They just like put a bunch of sensors on someone's actual dick. Or they just attached maybe they took a dildo, a bright green dildo, dipped it in glue, rolled it in sensors, and then just like flopped it onto a table a couple times.
Who's to say?
We don't know, but that's cool.
At any rate, it's a scene from that movie. Find that gif or find that scene and make a gif. Somebody, God, please.
And we will like you so much
forever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so David's in charge, and he increasingly starts treating Shelly like shit. Like he's treating everybody like shit, but like she's still like up in charge of a lot of people, but he's like becoming like more verbally abusive and physically abusive to other people and to her. And he'll like fly off the handle, and Shelly is like kind of the shock absorber where like he'll say some crazy shit like, I'm sending you to a work camp or something, basically, when somebody fucks up, and then she'll like come behind him and be like, dude, we're not going to do that. Like, just do this, and this, like, let's fix it. And then we'll figure it out.
Oh,
like,
you
basically.
can bet he didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, he was just so insufferable that it was just like, he didn't really care as long as people were being punished to some degree. So, and I mean, being punished for stupid shit. Like, so there came a time when they started having these scandals. So this one woman who was in the church had like an aneurysm. I think like something happened, and the like family was trying to sue the church because they were claiming like she was like mistreated, and which was probably true. Mm-hmm. But then they had that lawsuit pending against them, and then a bunch of high-level people in the church started defecting.
Dude, like very high level, like in his inner circle.
Right.
Because he was abusive.
Yeah. They were like I said, like things were fine at first, and then he just started losing it, and everybody was getting the brunt of his abuse. And
oh my God.
I think he kind of started losing the grasp on what was, I guess, like important for some people in the religion. And they were like, no, fuck this shit. Like, and then they started to see it for what it really was, and they left. So a bunch of people were leaving. And when they left, they all started talking about the shit that was happening. And all these reports started coming out about how David would systematically terrorize, humiliate, and abuse the Sea Org members. They call the Sea Org members are like who, like when you're in the church, like, and you work for the church, basically.
Yeah.
It's Sea Org.
Yeah.
So, so he called all these people SPs and suppressive persons. And he would be abusive to all these people that were speaking out, or the people that were speaking out, he had been abusive to. And if he wasn't doing the like physical and verbal abuse, he was ordering his lieutenants to do it for him. So he would put people who are going against the grain, he would have them taken away basically and put in these detention facilities that they had built around the country. Like there are North Korean style re-education camps where they like pretty much like sit there and mentally torture them.
Oh my God.
And you could possibly spend months or years at these camps. And this is what people have reported. Like, who's to say if this is real or not, but this is alleged.
Oh my God.
People who were sent to these camps would spend months or even years eating a subsistence diet, which is like rice and beans, performing like awful like menial tasks, like scrubbing bathrooms with their tongues, as what somebody reported. And you were absolutely cut off from the outside world. Like, you weren't allowed to speak to your family or friends. Nobody.
Oh, my God. And this is all, like, they're opting into it.
Yeah.
In a way, you know? It's like, maybe by the time that's happening to you, you're, like, in too deep to even notice what's happening. Because I would not clean a bathroom with my tongue.
No, and it was because they wanted to stay in the church so bad still. Even if they like were kind of like questioning the authority, they were like still wanting to stay in the church.
Dude.
And so they were like, well, if you want to stay in the church, then you have to go to one of these camps and get your mind right, basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think they paid for this too.
I think, yeah, because part of it, like, part of your rehabilitation is getting audited again. Like, you, like, especially if you made some sort of transgression against the church and you're still in it. And Leah Remini talks about this. Like, you go through all this, like, you know, punishment, and then you have to, like, go through auditing to, like, get back on track.
Right.
And it's like basically, and you have to pay for that. So, and you have to pay for all of this. It's crazy.
And it's a lot of money, not just like hundreds of dollars, like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh my God.
And you're being punished. It's crazy.
That guy, who's that guy? So like they had a bunch of people defecting at the top, but the one that's like the biggest one, I think, and the one that has come back to like haunt the church because he continues to speak out, was Mike Rinder. And he was basically, he was one of the highest profile defectors. He was the former executive director of the Office of Special Affairs. So that's just like a super high, you're basically like the top of the food chain when it comes to managing everyone that's fucking up in the church. And like, you know, when the press says bad things about Scientology and stuff like that, it's your job to clean all that shit up. So
yeah, you're like the Olivia Pope of the fucking Church of Scientology.
Yeah. And so he was abusing people, I'm sure. I think he admitted to it in the show that he did with Leah. But so he started speaking out about the abuse he saw in the church and like things he had done. And they only abused him more once he started speaking out. So like he had like questioned something that had happened. He heard about some abuse of some sort and he had questioned it internally first. So he's like speaking out internally first about like, hey, I don't think we should be doing this and this feels wrong and like what's going on here. And they were like, why are you questioning this? Like, we're sending you to one of our compounds. And they sent him to the one in Hemet, which is torture. I don't know if you've ever been to Hemet.
I used to play soccer in Hemet all the time. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
I went to a party there once, and a girl opened a beer with her belly button, and that's what you need to know about Hemet.
I don't understand.
I still don't understand, and I watched it with my own eyes multiple times, and I did not like it.
Wow.
Anywho, but there's something out at that compound, which is where David and Shelly lived, I think, for a while. It's like, it's really nice.
Yeah, that's like one of their main compounds is out there, I think.
Yeah. And they spent a lot of time there. And it's very fancy and like in the middle of nowhere, but they built something there called the Hole, which was like basically 2 double wides that they put together and was like the torture center. And
yeah,
they would make people like eat slop off the floor and shit.
Ugh.
So this guy is in there, Mike Rinder is in there, and something happens in London. There's like a movie premiere. I forget what the movie was, a Tom Cruise movie or something.
Yeah.
Or no, it was John Travolta, Wild Hogs, and
that shit made it all the way to London.
It's like no one's going to this premiere, but actually a journalist was going to go and like ask questions about Scientology and like the abuse and just like things that they had heard recently that had been in the news. And so they were like, you need to go there as our like, he was also the international spokesperson for Scientology. So they're like, you need to go. You're very important. Go catch this journalist at the event and tell him, no, like you need to correct this and like shut him down. So there's video footage of this, and they had like an altercation, and he was like, oh, blah, blah, and he's like, no, none of this is true, blah, blah, blah. Like I've never been abused by David Miscavige, and he's never hit me and all this stuff. Meanwhile, he's just totally lying because he had, and like, I don't know how this man found out. And so literally like the next day or a day or two after that, he was so upset with himself that he like lied in that moment. Meanwhile, he's like being abused, that he was like, fuck this. He was supposed to report to like a prison camp thing in Sussex for Scientology, and he's like, I'm not going to that. They're just gonna make me dig holes. And he quit. And he like tried to go back for his wife and kids, but they wouldn't let him even back to like talk to them or anything.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he became a suppressive person.
Yeah, it's like, that's what happens. You lose everything if you try to leave. Like, it's everything. So fucked. Yeah.
Dude, and this is 2007. Right before this, an event happened that kind of changes the course of Scientology. And I feel like this event maybe pushed him to leave a little quicker, because it was just like one more kind of check mark. So Tom and Katie get married in 2006, and it's
Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes.
Yes, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes get married 2006 in Italy in this beautiful huge castle, and it is the Scientology event of the decade, nay, the century.
Yes.
It is like everyone's there. It is like not just Scientology celebrities, all of the biggest celebrities in the world at the time are there. Like it is a wild, fancy affair. And Leah Remini herself, the Queen of Queens, she's J-Lo's BFF. She's a fucking poster child and diehard Scientologist at the time. She's there, and she's like schmoozing with a bunch of Scientology peeps, and they're just like all hanging out. And she like looks around, but she's like, and she's like, oh man, everyone important's here. Oh, where's Shelly? Like,
she should be here.
Yeah, is Shelly here?
David was Tom Cruise's best man in his wedding.
And where's his wife? She would be here. Is she okay? Is everything okay? And people immediately got super pissed. And this one dude actually said to her, you don't have the fucking rank to ask about this. And she's like, what? I'm just like asking where my friend is. And by this point, she then started realizing no one's seen Shelly for a few months now.
Yeah, it'd been a while. Like, it would been like at end of 2005 or something that she'd last been seen in public.
Yeah, and that was at her father's funeral, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And after that, that was like the last day anyone saw her. And, you know, anyone, I guess, that we've heard from, or that anyone that Leah or this other guy, Mike Rinder, knows. But then they were like, you should not have said that. You need to come to Clearwater, Florida. And they took her to like one of these camps to get her back on track. She had to pay $300,000 to go basically be punished.
Oh my God.
And then re-audited until she said like, David Miscavige and Tom Cruise like are the light of this church and they are helping the world, and like basically had to like say all the shit. But that was the beginning of the end for her, because after that she just like could not recommit to this religion. It took her like years more to leave, because that was like the first kind of little thing she had. And then
I mean, that was a pretty big thing, because to be clear, she wasn't like being obnoxious. She was just asking a question.
Yeah.
Like, she was just like, oh, where's Shelly?
Yeah. She was not asking in the context of, where's Shelly? This is sketchy. She should be here. What have you guys done to her? She was like, oh, hey, where's your wife? It's like you're at a dinner party and you're just like, oh, hey, is your wife coming? Like that.
And the response that she got was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't talk. We're making you go to Clearwater, Florida now because you opened your fucking mouth about something that you shouldn't have. And she was just like, whoa.
They fucking shut her down. And
like, bad.
And then she like stayed in it for a hot minute, like because she wanted to level up. And also her mom's in it, and like her family's in it. And like she'd been in it since she was a teenager, and she still like believed in some of it. But at some point she reached, I think it was like level 3. I know she got to level 5. That's the highest level she got to. But she got to level 3 or something, and like she was given quote unquote the answers to like life and like what this all means, and it was like a real special moment. And her mom's sitting across from her, and she like opens the paper that explains what it is, which is that you're made up of all these Thetans.
Yeah.
And she was like, what kind of bullshit is this?
Can you fucking imagine?
She's like, what?
Yeah.
And then she like talked to her mom about it, and she's like, Mom, this is like, this doesn't mean anything. Like what? And she's
this is fucking gobbledygook.
Yeah. And she's like, no, you just have to keep going. You'll understand like once you get to higher levels. So she did. And like every level she got to, she's like, it's worse.
Yeah. This
makes less
stupider than it was before.
This is just his science fiction he wrote, regurgitated into like a text.
When you get to like the highest level, it's like level 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like just a drawing that L. Ron Hubbard did of like a pair of boobs or something. Like alien boobs, and it's just like, okay.
God. Alien boobs. And then it's like in the corner, it's like LOL.
Yeah, exactly. Haha, sucker.
Oh my God. But so Leah finally left, I think in 2013.
Yeah.
And the first fucking thing she did, which was 8 years later, by the way, but the first thing she did was file a missing persons report for Shelly.
Yeah, because Shelly had not been seen in public since like
in 8 years.
Since her father's funeral at the end of 2005, I believe.
Yeah. Dude.
That's a long ass time. But I mean, so Leah Remini was like fucking calling the police. She's like, I am very concerned. Where is this woman? And she, like, the LAPD were like, okay, yeah, we'll try to figure out what's going on.
Like, we'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it. And they did, but
allegedly.
Nothing came of it.
Dude,
allegedly.
This is where I have my own conspiracy theory, like you have the one with your mom. I think the Scientologists paid off the LAPD, which is known to be a very corrupt organization.
Oh, I mean, it's not even like a stretch of a conspiracy theory at all. It's just like...
Probably what happened.
It's just like saying, like, sometimes it rains Like, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, true. Anyway, yeah, so they probably for sure paid off the LAPD, who later said that report was filed like unfounded. Like they were like, "There's no reason for her to file this," and she's like, "I did not see that woman."
Yeah.
Who was very much involved
Prominent,
in this organization. Yeah. I did not see her after this date, and it was weird. And no one talks about it. And when I talked about it, they made me pay $300,000 and go to fucking Florida.
Yeah.
Where it's crazy.
And the LAPD, like somebody, a representative or like a detective or something claimed he like actually saw Shelly and like interviewed her and stuff and she was fine, which may be, but
it could be true, yeah.
But she still has not been seen in public, like period.
Dude.
So all this leading to where I think she still is, if she's still alive. Mm-hmm. So that is the main question. Where in the intergalactic Xenu hell is Shelly? Where the fuck is she?
Is she in the intergalactic confederacy?
Yeah, where did she go? Did she get taken up in some motherfucking spaceship? Like, what the fuck happened?
Is she living in a space trailer park somewhere? Fucking just, like, smoking Virginia Slims all day? Remarried to some guy, like, to some alien guy with a beer gut?
Yeah. It's Xenu's, like, fucking, like, weird half-brother named Xenu. I don't know.
It's Xenu's cousin, Xenu.
Well,
it's Xenu's second cousin, once removed. We knew.
We knew. Oh my God. Well, I think she truly is being held captive, and I think she's being held captive near our hometown in a little town called Twin Peaks.
Oh, shit happens there, you know. It was a show.
It was a show. This is a real place that exists. Twin Peaks is next to the town that we grew up in, the San Bernardino Mountains. Mm-hmm. We grew up in Lake Arrowhead, and Twin Peaks is nestled between Lake Arrowhead and Crestline, basically. Mm-hmm. So she has even been, some people claim that they've spotted her in Twin Peaks, or I'm not in Twin Peaks, but in Crestline. I don't remember who told me this, but, or I might have read it. Who fucking knows at this point anymore? That she was spotted at this grocery store that's in Crestline called Goodwin's. Somebody said that they saw her there, and she looked frail and like just, she looked real bad. And this was 2016. So that's fairly recent, but I mean, who knows what's happened now. But the crazy thing about Twin Peaks and the base that is located there is that it is pretty secretive, big piece of property that the Church of Scientology owns, and they call it the Church of Spiritual Technology. Now,
it's almost like an anagram or something for Scientology, spiritual technology. It's like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, it's so weird. I know people who have done some construction work on the property before, and they said it was fucking really creepy, weird experience.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they were like, never ever going back there again. I don't give a shit how much money I get. It's so weird.
Oh my God.
And so this is where the Church of Scientology, though, they at this base, they keep their copyrights in archival work. Mm-hmm. So it's like all of L. Ron Hubbard's like work, I guess.
Yeah, that's smart because it burns down every 3 or 4 years. So
yeah,
keep
definitely
all your important documents.
Keep all the important documents in a dry, tender forest that has had multiple forest fires in the past decade.
Oh my God.
Super smart. So according to this Vanity Fair article, they interviewed this guy named Dylan Gill, who is a former Sea Org member, who oversaw most of the construction of the base in Twin Peaks. And he says that the base includes, in addition to a luxurious log cabin, primed for LRH's return. I guess he's coming back like Jesus. I didn't know.
Oh,
Did
wow.
not know that. There is a second structure designed to protect church VIPs, such as Miscavige and Tom Cruise, in the event of a nuclear Armageddon. Which, okay.
Oh my God.
And then the only people that enter this base are like 24 or so Sea Org members who live on it full time, according to this Vanity Fair article. And most people assigned there consider the posting to be an honor because being like you're safeguarding the word of LRH basically. And this whole place is monitored by a security apparatus that includes armed guards. The person who I talked to who did construction there said that he definitely saw people walking around with guns.
Oh my God.
There's infrared cameras, spiked fences, and it's pretty isolated. I mean, it's like not that isolated. It's like right off the main road from.
Oh, really? Off the highway?
Yeah, like you can see parts of it, I think, when you drive by.
Is it like, if you're going north to Twin Peaks, is it like before the police station or after? Or like
It's
the
before.
courthouse?
It's
Oh, okay.
before.
Okay. If you're coming up the mountain, it's before. So it's
Yeah.
like not in the town yet.
No, it's like
Okay.
it's like still secluded, but it's like it's there. You know it's there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like once you know where it is, you're like, oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay. I've probably seen it, but not realized
Probably
that that's what
not
it is.
realize what it was.
Yeah.
And then so like when you're there though, like if you work for Sea Org, you don't have contact with any other Scientologists. Like all the mail, all the phone calls, everything's monitored. So if you really wanted somebody to like not have any contact and to be like basically kept prisoner, that'd be a great place for it. So
Oh my God.
a lot of people believe that she's there because like that's one of the main bases and it's one of the most important ones, I guess. So people say that even though she might have been taken to another base, some of the people who knew her well, including these people, this woman Jan Weiss and another woman named Claire Headley, say she's probably at Twin Peaks and would probably stay there for as long as was required of her, not because she has to, but because she wants to. She, quote, lives in a sort of demented, altered universe, says another person who knew her, Karen De La Carriere. Whatever she thinks of DM, a.k.a. David Miscavige, she's
AKA
devoted.
her husband.
Yeah, a.k.a. her husband. She's devoted to Hubbard. That's the only life she's ever known. And then another person who knew her named Mark Headley said the greater tragedy is that she's probably the one person who could just end it tomorrow. If she just walked away from the whole craziness and said, okay, this is where all the fucking bodies are buried. This is what he did with this. This is what he did with that. Let's fucking burn it down. It would be done.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like she knows everything. She has all that, but she like, they're arguing that she is knowingly and purposely staying like
To keep it all, to keep the ruse going.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I don't know that I believe that. Like it sounds like she's being held prisoner, but
Yeah.
who fucking knows? She's a prisoner of her own mind too, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe she's just like so dedicated and she's waiting for the return of L. Ron Hubbard up in
Yeah.
the mountains with like whatever however they have built it for his return. I'm guessing there's just like a bunch of Hawaiian shirts in the closet and like some cigars.
No. It's like fucking naval like
Yeah.
nautical fucking
oh, right.
shit.
But like Jimmy
You're
Buffett's
thinking of
playing.
You're thinking of Jimmy Buffett.
I don't know. You might have casual wear when he's not in his uniform attire.
I mean, there could be some definite like crossover for sure.
Yeah,
Who's to say?
I mean, it's 100% yacht rock all the time.
Yeah.
All yacht rock all the time. All the blender's always fucking going, making pina coladas and shit. Like this
Sounds good to me.
What else do you do on a boat out in the middle of nowhere?
Weird sex stuff for sure.
I know, yeah. Ew.
So I don't know, man. I think she's still up there. Maybe she's dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? The main thing is that I just still can't believe that David Miscavige, like, he's such a bad person.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't been brought down. Like, even his own family, including his father and his niece, have left the church and spoken out against him.
Yeah.
So,
well, anyone who ever speaks out, first of all, immediately, Scientology issues a letter against them, a public letter, and it's like, this person was kicked out of the program on this day, and it's like, no, they chose to leave because you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But so I don't know, there's just all these tactics. It's such like bullying and stuff. I don't know. I hate all of it.
It's really weird. And then when somebody does, like when David Miscavige, when his father left, Ronald Miscavige, they had somebody like follow him around for like months. And harassed him. Yeah. And then when when the church was confronted about this, they were like, we don't know this person. What? Who's that? They like acted like,
sketchy as fuck.
Sketchy as fuck.
But that's how I think maybe she is still. I don't know that she's dead. I don't know that they'd have her killed or anything. I don't know. And I don't know that like she died naturally and then they just didn't say anything. That seems weird. But, and if she is still alive and she's up there and she's hidden, like, I totally believe that they could easily hide her and just bully everyone into not asking where she is. Like, you just... Oh, yeah. Because now they all know just not to talk about that. You know, because if anyone asks, they have to go through all that shit. Like... You know, it's like, you asked, you know you're not supposed to say anything about that. They, like, get a bunch of people involved. It's very hush-hush. It's all, like... Yeah. You know, it's like Leah Remini once said that she was in the hallway one time and she said, like, what's all this Xenu shit? Because she had heard about Xenu, but she hadn't yet been, like, given that information. And she, like, asked it of her mom or something. And someone said, you can't say that. And they, like, ushered her into, like, a private room and, like, brought in someone super high up that has that knowledge already who came and was like, you cannot talk about that. And they, like, wrote her up. And, like, you know, it's just, like, of course you could keep things secret in this because it's all secrets.
Yeah, exactly. It's so fucking wild. And I feel like it's especially bad for anybody who's in the church that has like family in the church as well. Like, the Ribicis, like Giovanna Ribisi and his sister, like his family, they all grew up in Scientology. Yeah. Beck, the musician, grew up in Scientology. Was married. He's now divorcing.
Divorced. I wonder if one of them's leaving. Which one do you think?
I know. I've been thinking about that. So it's just like all these people that have been born into it, basically, it's so hard to leave. And anybody who does leave, it's just like if any of their family stays in the church, they're just like gone forever, like unless they leave too. It's just wild, man. I can't believe that this is happening still. It's so crazy.
It's so weird. It's like Elizabeth Moss is in it.
Oh yeah, I always forget Elizabeth Moss is in it.
There's ones that fly under the radar, which means that they're not good Scientologists because they don't promote.
They don't evangelize about it.
Yeah, and they're supposed to.
Tom Cruise doesn't really.
He did.
But, like he did, yeah.
There's like, I guess like when he filmed War of the Worlds, he had like Scientology tents set up and like there was always people in there so that if anyone working on the movie wanted to find out more, they could like go into the tent. It's weird.
It's like because they have to walk a fine line of being like, I believe this thing, but like I'm not trying to like, you know what I mean? Like, because people are like, well, what's all this weird shit, and they have to like defend it.
Yeah.
But then
that's like anyone with any religion, I guess. It's like you don't want to like force it on someone because then you look like crazy.
I know, but yeah, Scientology, man.
I mean, it is. I like to think that they're all weird, made up things, religions.
Oh, yeah.
But this one just has that extra something because it's so new and crazy.
That je ne sais quoi of alien.
I don't know, that Xenu c'est quoi?
Xenu sais quoi. Chef's kiss. God,
Yeah.
I think we should stop now while we're ahead.
All right, I'm down. Let's stop. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This was a really fun episode for me. I loved it.
It was. I'm gonna watch more of the Leah Remini show. Leah Remini.
Yeah. Leah Remini.
Yeah, I just love how fucking Brooklyn she is. She's
so Brooklyn.
She's funny.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Hail Xenu. Follow us on social medias.
I posted on Instagram today.
Oh shit! Yeah, bitch.
I posted to the stories.
I've been so bad.
I posted to the stories with the hair.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So good.
I'm trying to get better at it for myself, and I was already in there, and I'm like, ooh, that hair thing, and then I'll post it in some other places.
You want the ones that you want stories, so it disappears. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, it can go on the page too. I don't care.
Yeah.
At DTFU Podcasts on all the platforms. Visit our Patreon. We have extra content there that we make for you guys.
So much content, you guys.
In exchange for your monies.
It's great.
And your support and your love also.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which is worth more than money to us.
That's right. There's merch on the website, dtfupodcast.com. All the things are on the website. We got the links to anything and everything you could possibly want having to do with the podcast. So check it all out.
So many links.
Thank you guys so much. Be excellent to yourselves and each other. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Xenu.
Xenu.